Hello, I'm Mr. Wahlberg, and today we're going to be looking at part of the American political spectrum. Yes, that good old political spectrum. One of our most difficult concepts to grasp. Why? Well, because it looks like this. Because it's super complicated. So, to make it easy, we're going to break it down to a simple line. You're either considered on the left of the line, or on the right of the line. If you're on the left, you're considered a liberal. On the right is considered conservatism. Easy for me to say. In this video, we will be looking at the liberal side. Liberalism is defined as the concept that the preservation of individual liberty and maximization of freedom of choice should be the primary aim of a representative government. The key thing to understand about this, though, is it differs country by country. A liberal in the United States, for example, is completely different from a liberal in Great Britain versus being liberal in China. Today we're really focusing on liberalism in the United States. So liberals believe that the government is responsible for taking action to ensure there is equal opportunity and equality for everyone. Government should help to reduce community issues and protect civil liberties as well as human rights. Government is responsible for removing obstacles that interfere with a person's ability to achieve their individual potential. Poverty, disease, discrimination, for example. Essentially, government takes the primary role for change and solving problems. In the United States, liberalism tends to be tied with what we would call the welfare state. What this means is that liberals in the United States have no problem with using tax dollars to pay for things such as unemployment compensation, health care, and public education, including paying for college and trade schools. Some liberals believe that it is the government's job to ensure a fair distribution of wealth, which means making sure everyone has essentially the same standard of living. In the United States, this is strongly criticized as it sounds very similar to communism. Americans don't like the idea that the government will take some of their hard-earned money and give it away to someone who is not working as hard as they are. Instead, liberals in America tend to favor a tax system in which the wealthiest people are taxed at a higher rate than poorer citizens. In terms of the political spectrum, the more that you move to the left, the more liberal you are, which means the more you believe that the government should be in control of making change. However, they also realize that government having too much power can result in the government taking away rights, so they believe in a healthy balance. For example, the communist Soviet Union enforced that everyone had true equality by only allowing people to make so much money. People that made too much money lost their income, and it was given to the poor. Over time, they discovered that they had an abundant amount of money, so the primary people in government began keeping money for themselves, while the people starved. True equality turned into true inequality. By the end, the Soviet Union was in massive debt. Couldn't keep items on the shelves, and couldn't feed their own people. The Democratic Party is considered the liberal party of the United States. Republicans are considered conservatives. We will be dividing into the specific platform issues for each of these parties, but here are some examples to allow you to get a better idea of how they're different. Liberals, Democrats, believe that government needs to make gun control laws to make people and places safer, while conservative Republicans would say that individuals can make people and places safer by knowing more about guns and teaching personal responsibility. Liberals, Democrats, believe the government needs to restrict air pollution and create fines for air pollution violations to curb the effects of climate change, while conservatives, Republicans, believe that if citizens care about fixing climate change, they will buy products from companies that monitor and maintain low air pollution, and other companies will go out of business. Do you see how liberals rely on government and conservatives rely on personal responsibility? This concludes this short lesson on liberalism. Hopefully you've been listening to me and not just writing down what is on the screen. Make sure you go back, get any notes that you missed, and to ensure you actually listen to the whole thing. Somewhere in your notes, I want you to write down the phrase, quote, live long and prosper. For a bonus point, on next class's activity, find out which famous character said that phrase. Hey, thanks for watching.